Hi Ray, how's it going?
It's going well.
Good, nice to see you. Good, nice to see you as always.
It's always good to be here.
Yes, so we've had some major accomplishments with some of your individuals you've been helping. So we'll start with Bruce. Can you tell me a little bit about his journey and kind of from your point of view and your perspective?
Well, a year ago he was living in the woods in a tent, and now he has a full-time job. He loves it. He's got an apartment, and his life is completely transformed. And when you see something like that, it makes you very grateful. And obviously we can't do what we do without the help of everyone, because it is costly. And the facilities he was in before he moved on with his life, they were paid for through this foundation. So it's we couldn't do it alone, not as well.
Well, we're glad to help, and it's nice to see what has gone on in just since December. A lot has changed, so that's really great, and we're happy to help.
We don't have too many huge success stories because it's so incremental and there are so many obstacles, but he's overcome them, and he's in a different place today than he would have.
Right. Well, just helping one person is great. So if you can help one, then another, and then another, then it's
That's
great.
What we do. That's what we do every day.
Great. Also too about Mary, I know she's kind of overcome some obstacles as well. What can you tell me about Mary's journey?
One thing Bruce and Mary have in common is persistence, and both of them wanted to get out of homelessness. And there were some big obstacles for each of them, but they were willing to work with us, and we were able to work with them to get them where they are today. She's had a hard journey, just like Bruce. She made it.
Right. Yeah. That's great. Things take time, but when you have a great outcome like that, it's all worth it. Speaking of obstacles, what are some major obstacles you're still seeing now with the homeless?
I just met a gentleman, I don't know if you remember George and Crystal, a couple that was homeless, and I've been in touch with them a lot, and they're doing better, and they've been actually helping this young man I met, and his name is Adam, and they asked if they could give him my number because he really needs help, Brother Ray, is what he said. And I said, of course you can give him my number. It took him a couple of days to actually contact me. And at first I could sense there might be a little reluctance to accept help. And but then I met him on early this week. Monday, I think, yes. I met him for the first time in person, and we got along quite well. Very intelligent man, and he's been homeless for 10 years. So he is accepting help now. There are obstacles. He has no identification. Without an ID, I have difficulty with most motels finding a room.
Right.
Fortunately, we're working with a manager who is very sympathetic to the cause, and he helps us a great deal. And he was willing to accept Adam without any ID. And so people don't understand how difficult it is to get an ID. And you can't get an apartment without one. You can't get a job without one. And Bruce had to go through a great deal of work with Pastor Mary in order to get what he has. And so that right now, that's something we're trying to do for Adam, and we're trying to get the economic stimulus check for him. Bruce was able to get both of them with Pastor Mary's help, and Adam really desperately needs the money. He's sleeping on the streets, and he was at the motel three nights. And first night, I told this is a leap of faith on my part here, because I don't know you,
Right.
and I'm going to trust you. And he assured me he didn't do anything wrong, and he didn't. And so the other day, he wanted to get a COVID test. Well, we went to one of the free facilities for a COVID test. He stood in a long line outside, and then another one inside. And unfortunately, they told him, "Oh, you can't test you without an ID." You can't even get a COVID test? This is a population that's very vulnerable.
Right.
And you're not going to give him a test because he has no ID. I mean, that's how extreme this is. And it takes a great deal of work and paperwork to get those things. And that's one of the major obstacles, is that people don't realize. So they say, "Oh, why don't they just go get a job?" You can't get a job without an ID. You can't. And I used to feel the same way. Everybody's hiring. Get a job. And the other problem is so many of them who have been homeless for quite some time, as Bruce mentioned, lose their social skills. And it's difficult for them to adjust. And then there's also the issue of mental illness. And some of the people that we help regularly will never be where Bruce and Mary are. Simply could not work. And it's just impossible. And fitting into society, most of the time it doesn't work. So, there are so many aspects to this that people don't understand. And it took me 5 years to learn what I've learned. And I'm still learning. But as Bruce said, each day becomes easier because you've gone through enough things with enough people that you know how to approach them and how to get them to accept your help. And a lot of people simply don't want it. Recently, one of our people that we've been helping, he died. And he didn't die from homelessness, he died from cancer. But he'd been homeless his entire life. And I think he was 67 years old.
Wow.
And but he accepted help when it was offered, and he was always so grateful for everything. And that's one thing that we're finding, is that people who get the help they need are eternally grateful, and they pass that on to someone else.
Is there anything that you do to maybe get them to want to accept, or are there just some that are just...
Most of them will accept certain kinds of help. This young man I met, Adam, I told him about the church lunches. We have 2 days a week. And I said, now you have a choice. I can bring you a lunch, or you can join me and the rest of the people for lunch. He said, "Oh no, I want to be there." Immediately. Now somebody else, it took months for him to agree to come. Finally, one day he realized, I'm passing up a hot meal. And it was winter. And he said, I think I might like to. I was packing in food every day and water and things. I put in a note, anytime you want to go to the church lunch, I'll get you there and bring you back. But it took 3 months for him to finally say, yeah, I think I'd like that. And he was a regular ever since. Unfortunately, he is homeless still. And there's only so much we can do. Yes, we put him in a motel when we can, and he never goes hungry. But his life is very difficult. And we have to accept that we can only do so much for some people. And if you offer something and they reject it, today they may come back tomorrow and accept it. And I saw that with Adam. He was reluctant at first. I said, no, this is your life. I'm not trying to tell you how to live or what to do. I'm just telling you, if you need help, I know people that can help you. And so he is with us now, and we're going to work with him to get his stimulus checks and an ID. I mean, that's a beginning, and hopefully get him out of being homeless.
Well, great. Well, we can't wait to hear what happens.
In fact, Bruce is going to fix his bike later today.
Oh, is that who he's going? Okay,
That's
nice,
yeah,
nice.
and his bike is in pieces right now, and Bruce knows all about bicycles. And I told Adam, I said, I know somebody who can fix your bike, and I think we can work this out logistically. And he said, I can't believe it. You have so many connections, and that that you have contacts that can. Well, it took a long time to get those contacts, and so Bruce and I are going to meet Adam a little later, and I'll bring him some lunch from here.
Oh, perfect.
And
Yeah.
And Bruce will fix his bike for him. So that's a start.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'm sure it's great to, especially Bruce's story and someone like Adam who's just starting and can see like, wow, my life can really turn if I just, have patience and want to put in, the effort and accept the help. So that's really great.
And don't think I didn't think about that when I said, oh, I know somebody who can help you with a bike.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
I know.
And he's gotten out of homelessness.
Right,
You can do
exactly.
this.
Right. I'm thinking like you, see? Yeah, so I guess like you kind of already touched upon a little bit, but what kind of advice can you give to someone who is currently going through a tough time like this and, may not be ready now, but maybe down the road that, needs help or...
Find somebody to talk to and see where it goes. And you have to have a little faith, you have to trust a bit. And a lot of homeless people don't trust people. And they've been hurt too much. And they've been ridiculed too much. And so they, at first, they can be very standoffish until they get to know you. And I would tell anybody, find somebody to talk to, go to a church, see if they can help you. I can recommend one. And be open to people's advice. And nobody's going to make you do anything. You have to choose to do it. Most of the people I know have made bad choices, and like we all do, and that's why they are often where they are today. But it can happen. Change is possible.
Well, great. Well, thank you, Ray. Always a pleasure. Thank you again for all of you done for all these individuals, and we can't wait to hear what happens next.
Well, we're working hard.
All right.
So, and you're helping. So thank you very much.
Well, good. We're happy to help. So, all right. Thank you.